Understand two important things. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning Bani Israel? Too many times, we said before. Same problems, same mistakes Muslims have done, Bani Israel have done, Muslims will fall into it. Number two, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was in Mecca. This is a Meccan surah, and we have Surah Al-Kahf coming after, is a Meccan surah. Yeah? And a lot of responses which the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ have responded in Surah Al-Kahf was a response to what? The questions of Banu Israel. Because the mushrikeen, the kuffar, the non-believers of Mecca went to the Bani Israel because they know in scripture, they have the Torah. So they went to them to ask. So they said, test him with these few questions. And that's why Surah Al-Kahf coming. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in an indication, He's telling Prophet Muhammad والسلام, that you will have so much trouble from these people. These people will start, that's number one, they're quizzing you. That's the start. And then even before you see Surah Al-Isra coming, it's a surah what? Makkiyah or Madaniyah? Makkiyah. Before even he goes to Medina, his encounter with the Jews directly, when he goes to where? To Medina. So before then, Allah's telling him what? Be aware that these people will not gonna have a commitment towards who? Towards you or towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah's giving him an indication of what's gonna happen in the future. So he'll be careful in advance. Fatah Allah alik. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you look at the ayah number 2, أَلَّا تَتَّخِذُوا مِن دُونِ وَكِيلًا. When you use a wakil, usually you use a wakil when? In a contract. In a legal matter. The problem with the Jews in 3 instances, okay? Banu Qurayza, Banu Qaynuqa, and there's another 3rd tribe. What's the problem? What? They didn't fulfill the contract, the promise with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. They violated it. They want to kill him. And another instance, they want to expose a Muslim lady. And they had already, and they killed the one guy, so on and so forth. And in the 3rd instance, we're in a time of war when the Prophet ﷺ was surrounded, when the Medina was surrounded by the tribes, the Ahzab, it's called the war or the battle of the trench. What happened?
They betrayed the...
They sent intelligence and they violated their agreement with the Prophet ﷺ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indication say, these people, be aware, but unfortunately they violated that. This is even before. These ayat were before, way before this is going to happen to the Muslims. Let's dive to the ayat of our subject today. We talked yesterday about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in ayah number 15. مَنْ اهْتَدَى فَإِنَّمَا يَهْتَدِيَ لِنَفْسِهِ. Before there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala كُلَّ إِنسَانٍ أَلْزَمْنَاهُ طَائِرَهُ فِي عُنُقِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, the fate, your fate is in your what? Neck. Why Allah is mentioning the neck? Important thing. Very important to understand. Why the neck? But the neck, even if you see this, what is the neck? It's a form of either respect, dignity, or disgrace. You see when somebody you tell him, he's so, he looks so high, this and so. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, even He said what? The person who's gonna go, you look at ayah number 18, the person who's gonna go to the hellfire, فَيَصْلَاهَا مَذْمُومًا مَدْحُورًا. He will be disgraced. His neck, he doesn't have that neck appearance, that dignity. It's not there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in ayah 15 again, He said what? مَنْ اهْتَدَى فَإِنَّمَا يَهْتَدِي لِنَفْسِهِ. You're doing everything for who? You're not benefiting Allah. You're not benefiting nobody other than yourself. Because who is going to pay the consequences, the results? Is you. Individual. Nobody was going to come and tell you, I'm going to take a little bit of that punishment. No. Same thing will happen. when you are in a loan or in a debt, when you have some kind of emergency and you need funds, at that situation, you have to bear the consequences because some people are not going to help you. So فإنما يهتدي ومن ضل فإنما يضل عليها ولا تضر وزر وزر أخرى. We said that nobody will carry the burdens which you are carrying. وما كنا معذبين حتى نبعث رسولا. What does that mean? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will not send punishment on people. He will not gonna punish people until and unless He send what? A messenger. And the messenger, why? Because imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to make the what? The rules very clear. So nobody can have a blame Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
We are not informed.
We are not informed. We said that, mashallah. We are not informed about what happened. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذَا, ayah 16, وَإِذَا أَرَدْنَا أَن نُهْلِكَ القَّرْيَةَ أَمَرْنَا مُتْرَفِيهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if a qarya, if a town, if a country, if a state, if a nation, Allah want to destroy that nation. And why? And first of all, why Allah want to destroy a nation? To start with. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will destroy a nation if the nation is unjust. If the nation has two criteria. They call it what we usually call the blind eye effect. When it's something in your interest, you let it go. But if something is not in your interest and it's wrong, you let it go. You know, you don't stop it. You don't condemn it. You don't say, no, this is wrong. Okay? For example, United States foreign policy right now. Okay? We're talking about what? We support democracy everywhere. We support human rights everywhere. We support elections, fair elections everywhere. But when it comes to their national interest, what happened? They CIA play games in these countries like Pakistan, like Egypt, like Bangladesh, like all these countries. Leave these prisoners, no problem. Human rights is not important. You go to Gaza, let them kill them. They're looking for Hamas terrorists inside. Just let them do whatever they want. So everything happens what? Because of their interest. I want to sell weapons. Weapons is number one what? Export of the United States. Number one. Economy, basically economy. So when it comes to my interest, income. Income. A fair election in Pakistan, I don't care about it. But I will condemn who? Venezuela, for example. Or somebody who I will condemn that. I make it all over the news. They're treating this, they're treating their citizens this way. There's no democracy, so on and so forth. But all the Middle East, and there's no democracy, and you have dictatorships because of their interest, because they're protecting Israel. Okay, so they're protecting Israel, but they're killing whatever they're killing. They're taking the president, for example, in Egypt out of it. It's fine, whatever. So all what we're trying to say is what? This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the reason for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it doesn't matter to Allah if the country is a believer or not a believer, kafir or not kafir. Doesn't matter. As far as justice is equal opportunity. Everybody's treated the same. Everybody has the same equal opportunity. No discrimination, no racial discrimination, no religious discrimination like we here. Nobody tell us get out of the masjid. Everybody's fine. We're fine. We're enjoying. So the main thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send. But once you try to change the balance what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made on earth, then wait for the punishment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said one of the effective way He does is what? Mutrafiha. Who's the mutrafin? Are the elites. You see the elites of any society?
Yeah.
You see, for example, they had Elon Musk a couple days ago or 3 days ago. He's on drugs. It doesn't matter. I'm on drugs, it doesn't matter, but Tesla is executing very well. They're doing this and this and that. It doesn't matter. You go to most NFL, for example. You talk about, CEOs. They do a lot of, sexual assault cases, this and that. Epstein, we all know in New York City, whatever he had, he's connected to one of the elites of England. You go to Trump, you go to Trump history. We're not gonna go to all of his history. You go to Mr. Biden, you go to Mr. Bill Clinton, you go to all these people, you go about this, and this is what's happening. This is just from political side. Then you get the lobbyists, you get the businessmen from one side. They want to take the buy. Then on the top of that, they try and abuse the system. Lobbying here, lobbying there. It doesn't matter. The average American citizen is paying the price. Doesn't matter. But he has to go and pay. He won the car. He has to pay right now almost 8%, 15%, from 8 to 15% of interest on his loan. How are you going to survive like that? Doesn't matter. Because the big elites, the banks has to make the money. Chase Bank, for example, it reached what? The highest level ever. A few days back, or 1 week ago. It's all interest based. Okay, I take a loan, this guy deposits some money, I charge this guy higher, I make the difference. That is how they make their money. So all these people are lobbying, are taken. So this is the injustice in the system. And how many homeless we have in California, for example? 160,000 on the street. And what is the problem with them? When they hear like some guy of the elite, like Elon Musk, for example, he said, I do drugs. Okay? Or Lindsay Lohan, there's so many celebrities. They're very happy with doing drugs. What's going to happen to the average homeless guy? They're all on drugs. They use all kinds of drugs now. Zombie drugs, this fentanyl, this and that. And the whole society going to the loose. This is what happens. So the regular people try to what? They try to emulate. They try to take these people on the top as an example. You see nudity started with who? The elites. You see the movies. You see the Beverly Hills, the Hollywood. They start to spread this out, even invading everybody. These other Arab countries, they're getting all these movies from them. So the people, the regular average, I want to be like this star. I have to wear like this lady. I have to have my hair cut, look like this guy. I have to get my Jordans. I have to get my this. So the society become what? Looking about its what? Desires. And once you look after your desires, you fall. A little by little you fall. Your problems is going to start to accumulate. And the biggest problem the US, for example, has, it didn't really intensify yet, is the debt problem. Everything is what? The US is taking credit card. The money they give to Israel, the money is given to Ukraine, the money is given to Egypt, the money is given to Pakistan, the money is given to Bangladesh, the money is given, it's on what? Credit card. They don't have it. They're just borrowing, keep borrowing, keep borrowing. And that's just what's happening. And this might happen one day. We don't know. We don't want to even something bad happen to nobody. Because we live in this country, we love this country. We have to understand now, we love this country, we want this country to be the best. There's no, but we have to highlight. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, yes, we will let these people, we will let the elites, fasaqu, commit fasq. What's the fasq means? All kinds of wrongdoing. Fujur, from interest, going to fornication, adultery, porn industry, arm industry, weapons industry, alcohol industry. How many people are die from alcohol or commit violence or crimes out of alcohol? So many. But alcohol, no, we'll leave alcohol alone. So many things. So they will start to spread the fahsha. فَحَقَّ عَلَيْهَا الْقَوْلُ. So the true verdict will be sent over. What's the true verdict, Ya Allah? Destruction. فَدَمَّرْنَاهَا تَدْمِيرًا. We'll destroy the country. So again, somebody will ask, the main reason for this to happen is what? the country was what? Unjust.
Injustice.
You don't treat everybody the same. When something is for you, you are you're very supporting. When something against somebody else, you don't respect their rights. وكم أهلكنا من القرون من بعد نوح. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning with all the qurun, with all these towns, with all these nations after Nuh alayhi salam. You have Salih, you have Madian, you have Ad, you have Thamud, Ashab al-Aika, all these people coming after Nuh alayhi salam. Shu'aib, all these Ashab Shu'aib, all these people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what was with this nation done? Injustice. Towards Allah, or towards their people, or towards their messengers. وكفى بربك بذنوب عباده خبيرا بصيرا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the main thing is what? One of the qawm was they do what? They cheat, yes? In their mizan, in their balance. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have sent the punishment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kafa enough who? Allah is the بذنوب عباده خبيرا بصيرا. He is the one who is, what's the word khabir means? Khabir.
Alert.
Expert. Expert. When you have expert witness in the court, what's that expert? Why they don't bring, for example, you have somebody who had a problem with the surgery. Say, for example, he was doing a heart surgery and the surgery went wrong. Who would they bring? Not a regular surgeon. You won't know. They will have to bring the same one. So the expert is delicate knowledge about the subject. Okay? For example, something happened in an accident and somebody's hand got destroyed. They will bring what? A surgeon for the hand, a hand surgeon, to be able to say something. That is what Allah is saying. I have the delicate knowledge about your actions. What does that mean? That I know what you do in public. I know what you do in private. I know what you say from your mouth. And I know what goes into your heart. I know how you use your hand. Taking bribes, like a lot of countries, a lot of people, or you hurting somebody with it, so on and so forth. So Allah knows everything delicate. And then the other thing is basira. The word basir goes along with what? Kitab. We said Allah have the footage. So everything will be basira. It's not just a record written. No. It's not a description of what you have done. No. It's footage, video footage of what we're all doing. So why we said all of this? The evidence will be laid out for each one, and each one will have the choice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, look what you have done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here this is very important ayah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeating the same concept in ayah 18 so many times. We also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you will remember in Surah Yunus, also ayah number 10 or ayah number 8, He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning the concept of the people who are satisfied, are happy with this dunya, with this life, and forget about the hereafter. What ma'annu mean he already made everything, that he's secure with it. He's happy with it. Why are gonna come to the masjid? I have a lot of money. Why do I need Allah for? I have the car, the Rolls Royce. I have the house. I have the kids. Why do I need Allah for? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this is wrong all the time. That the person who have that belief will be held accountable. Will have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish him. It's the same concept as you. من كان يريد العاجلة. العاجلة, what's the عاجلة here? It's life. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the word عاجلة is something happening quick. So number one, with that word, it's giving you an alert that your life on earth is going to happen. Is your time here will pass so quick, so fast.
Yes.
That's number one, عاجلة. Number two, that you like things happen fast. You don't have patience. I want a job, I want it now. I want to be rich, I want to be rich now.
Anyway.
I want kids, I want kids right now. I want that. We don't have the patience. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called عاجلة, this life. So Allah, whoever wants this life, عجلنا له فيها ما نشاء. So ما نشاء لمن نريد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not gonna give. So a lot of people are asking for a job. Say the job, one job. Does everybody get the job? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has His system. Okay, the system of rizq. So this guy is gonna get the job. This guy will be rejected. So on and so forth. So it's not even, the dunya is not even according to what you want. Not according to you. You already have the plan for it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ما له فيها ما نشاء لمن نريد. So whoever we want. ثم جعلنا له جهنم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you're talking about the dunya, it doesn't matter you believe in Him or you don't believe in Him. Everybody the same. Why is that? There's no discrimination. Allah who is just. So that means He will let everybody. He will let everybody what? Be treated the same treatment. You have a classroom, you have students. You cannot have a professional treatment for some student and give him tutoring on one side, and the rest of the students are not. Yes? Because that guy who's getting tutoring, you're probably going to give him some of the exam questions, and he will get a higher score than the rest of the students. Same thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life. He's making everybody the same, equal in the worldly sense. That you take with the reasons, you work hard, regardless. You believe in Him, you don't believe in Him, you're atheist, you're Muslim, Christian, you're Hindu, you're Buddha, doesn't matter. Everybody's the same in the worldly sense. Okay? But the person who will not gonna believe in Him and he change his situation and look for what? For the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said what? جعلنا له جهنم يصلاها مذموما مدحورا. And word mazmum is what? The word mazmum is condemned. Means like he's, when somebody does something disgraced. This is what the word means. Madhura means what? Rejected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have used the same word with Iblis, the shaitan. When He expelled him from the Jannah, He tell him, get out. Madhura. You are rejected. So the same thing in the hellfire, which really people don't understand that this is a reality. There is really something called hellfire. Because we're in a different, I guess, we're in a different world, or we don't think, or we don't understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending so many signs, so many messages. But we're not here. When you have the radio and you cannot accept the transmission which is coming, the wave, we're in the wrong wave, honestly speaking. Because if all the signs started from coronavirus happened, in New York City, trucks full of what? Bodies. Everywhere. Pakistan, Egypt, everywhere. There's what? Trucks. People are dying. Everybody says, oh Allah, I was just masajid. Empty.
Nobody in the masjid.
Nobody in the masjid. Oh, so many.
Nobody in janazah.
Nobody in the janazah. Everybody was like sitting home, and it's like, oh, who's coming? Do you have a mask? Oh, you coming? Did you take coronavirus vaccination? Everybody was very. These are signs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's sending to us to wake us up. You know, the people, the wars is happening right now. So a lot of people are dying for no reason. You know, like the people in Palestine, the people in Sudan, the people in Congo, the people in Ukraine. They never did anything. They're just dying for no reason. These are all signs of what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said. He said what? One of the signs is the person will die. He doesn't know what is the reason he was killed. He died for. You know, there's no reason behind it other than a tyrant. You know, a tyrant president. For example, they had George W. Bush. He went to Iraq for no reason. Iraq the stability in that region never never came back the way it is. So many people died. You know, so that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us about the signs. وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةِ this is the real win. You have to live, but your eyes for the long term. Your eyes, you doing this hasana, you doing this good deed, you doing this good action, but I want to save it. For what? My retirement account. I want to go when I cash up my retirement account. I don't want to depend on somebody. I don't want to ask my son, or I don't want to ask, this guy. I need some money. I need some help. No. I want to have 1 billion. This is hasanat which you accumulate. And remember, we said before that even you earn the hasanat, it's very easy to lose them. You do the good deed, then next day you go, for example, you shop for the wife, you shop for the home, then next day a fight happens. She tell you one word, you say one word, you know what I did yesterday? I brought this, and then the hasanat is gone. You know, you do a favor for somebody, and then what happened? And you give him money, maybe monthly, whatever. He said a word right here to somebody else, and you heard it. Then you call him. You know what I do every month? I send you this much money. You know, the hasanat are gone. There is, like we said before, that the shaitan, the devil, is looking to take your actions back. Whatever you do, you're looking. You give to, for example, to an institution or any kind of charity. Then what happened after that? After you give to a charity. You see that brother who's in charge of that charity? And start the whole idea. People are trying to talk about, no, I'm not giving again. Allah doesn't need you. Allah doesn't really need you. For you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He said, don't keep, like bragging with your sadaqah, with your giving, with your charity. Don't brag. It's gone. Same thing which happened with Sayyidina Abu Bakr. When the haditha of Ifk happened, the Sayyidah Aisha, what happened? And then he said, I give this guy, and this guy is spreading the rumor. So Quran came down. Don't come and say, I give. Your things will be rejected. Your sadaqat will be rejected. So let's stop here. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.
اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام. تبارك